Picture this. A 105-year-old man walks into a New York conference hall, climbs the stairs to the stage, and delivers a 90-minute lecture, standing the entire time. The audience sits in stunned silence, not just because of his age, but because his mind is sharper than most people half his age. This wasn't fiction. This was Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara at 101 years old. But here's where the story gets truly mysterious. Dr. Hinohara had a secret, something he did every single night for over 80 years that modern science has now proven to be the most powerful brain protection method ever discovered. Yet he never told anyone the real reason why he did it. What's even more shocking? This same secret practice has been validated by groundbreaking research from Harvard, Stanford, and the University of Rochester. Scientists spent millions of dollars and decades of research to discover what Dr. Hinohara had figured out through pure intuition. The twist that will change everything you think you know about brain health? Dr. Hinohara's secret wasn't expensive supplements, complex exercises, or cutting-edge technology. It was something so simple that when you hear it, you might think it's too easy to work. But the science behind it is absolutely mind-blowing. Right now, as you're watching this video, your brain is accumulating toxic proteins that could determine whether you'll have a sharp mind or struggle with memory loss in your later years. But what if I told you that tonight, yes, tonight, you could start the same practice that kept Dr. Hinohara mentally sharp until the day he died? The secret is hidden in what he did in the 60 minutes before sleep. But first, you need to understand the revolutionary discovery that explains why those 60 minutes could add decades to your cognitive lifespan.
What if I told you that while you sleep, something extraordinary happens inside your skull that most people never know about? Something so powerful that missing it for just one night could aid your brain by weeks. In 2013, a team of researchers at the University of Rochester made a discovery that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. They had uncovered a secret system in your brain, a system that had been operating every night of your life, yet remained completely hidden from modern medicine. They called it the glymphatic system, but here's what they discovered that will blow your mind. Your brain has its own cleaning crew that only works the night shift. While you sleep, this system becomes 60% more active, using special fluid to wash away toxic proteins that accumulate in your brain during the day. But here's the twist that changes everything. This cleaning system doesn't automatically turn on when you fall asleep. It requires specific conditions to activate, conditions that Dr. Hinohara had been creating every night without even knowing he was doing it. The scientists discovered something terrifying. People who don't activate the system properly accumulate brain toxins 43% faster. These are the same toxic proteins found in Alzheimer's patients, the same proteins that destroy memory, cloud thinking, and steal decades from your mental lifespan. Here's what's truly shocking. During deep sleep, your brain cells actually shrink by 60%, creating superhighways for this cleaning fluid to rush through your brain tissue like a power washer, clearing away the metabolic garbage that would otherwise poison your mind. But most people never activate this system properly because they don't know the secret code, the specific sequence of activities that must happen before sleep begins. Dr. Hinohara had cracked this code through decades of experimentation, and what he discovered will change how you think about bedtime forever.
Here is where Dr. Hinohara's story becomes almost unbelievable. While the entire medical establishment was obsessing over complex sleep hygiene rules and rigid bedtime protocols, Dr. Hinohara was doing the exact opposite and living decades longer with a sharper mind than his colleagues. We all remember how, as children, when we were having fun, we often forgot to eat or sleep. Dr. Hinohara revealed in a rare interview. I believe that we can keep that attitude as adults too. It's best not to tire the body with too many rules. This wasn't just philosophy. It was revolutionary neuroscience disguised as simple wisdom. What Dr. Hinohara understood intuitively, Harvard researchers would later prove in the laboratory. Approaching bedtime with anxiety and rigid bedtime rules actually triggers your stress response, flooding your brain with cortisol and blocking the very processes that clean and restore your mind. But here's the secret that will change everything. Dr. Hinohara had discovered that the brain's cleaning system responds to specific emotional and physical states, states that can't be forced or scheduled, but must be gently cultivated, like tending a garden. The medical establishment was teaching people to fight their way to better sleep. Dr. Hinohara had learned to dance his way there instead, and the difference in outcomes was staggering. Studies now show that people who approach sleep with Dr. Hinohara's philosophy experience 30% better memory consolidation and 25% more efficient brain detoxification. But here's what's truly mind-blowing. This approach also reduces sleep anxiety by up to 40%, creating a positive cycle that compounds over decades. The secret wasn't in what Dr. Hinohara did, but in how he did it. He had discovered the hidden emotional keys that unlock your brain's most powerful restoration systems. And tonight, you're going to learn exactly what those keys are and how to use them.
Now comes the part of the story that sounds too simple to be true. Dr. Hinohara's brain-protecting secret consisted of just 3 practices. But here's the twist. These weren't the practices you'd expect from a medical expert. In fact, they were so unconventional that if Dr. Hinohara had taught them to his medical colleagues, they might have questioned his sanity. But modern neuroscience has now proven that these 3 simple activities create the perfect neurochemical cocktail for brain restoration. Each practice triggers specific brain waves, hormones, and cleaning processes that work together like a symphony of cognitive protection. The first forbidden practice, the memory cinema. Every night, Dr. Hinohara would sit quietly and replay his entire day like watching a movie, but with one crucial rule. He was never allowed to change the plot. No problem solving, no planning, no fixing, just watching. Modern brain imaging shows this practice activates the exact brain networks needed for memory consolidation while simultaneously reducing stress hormones by up to 35%. The second forbidden practice, the ancient movement. While everyone else his age was avoiding physical activity before bed, Dr. Hinohara was doing something that seemed to break every sleep rule in the book. He engaged in gentle movement that most doctors would say was too stimulating. But research now shows this specific type of movement increases brain-cleaning fluid flow by 40% and triggers the release of growth hormones that repair neurons overnight. The third forbidden practice, the gratitude hunt. This was perhaps the strangest of all. Dr. Hinohara would spend his final waking minutes hunting for 3 moments from his day that sparked wonder, curiosity, or joy. Neuroscientists have now discovered this practice increases production of GABA and melatonin by up to 35%, while strengthening the brain regions responsible for emotional resilience. But the real magic wasn't in these practices individually. It was in how they worked together to create something extraordinary. When researchers first analyzed what happens in the brain during Dr. Hinohara's 3 practices, they couldn't believe the results. Each practice was triggering cascades of beneficial changes that seemed almost too good to be true. But here's where the story gets truly incredible. When scientists looked at brain scans of people doing these practices together, they discovered something that revolutionized our understanding of brain health. The memory cinema was creating perfect conditions for something called hippocampal replay. This is when your brain literally replays the day's experiences at high speed, strengthening important memories and discarding useless information. But here's the shocking part. This only happens when your brain is in a specific, relaxed state that can't be forced. Dr. Hinohara's gentle observation method was the perfect key to unlock this process. The ancient movement was doing something even more extraordinary. While everyone thought exercise before bed was disruptive, Dr. Hinohara's specific type of movement was actually priming the brain's cleaning system. The gentle activity increased cerebrospinal fluid circulation by 40%, creating highways for toxins to be flushed from the brain during sleep. But the gratitude hunt was perhaps the most powerful discovery of all. Scientists found that this practice doesn't just make you feel good, it literally rewires your brain for resilience.
The gratitude focus increases production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a protein that grows new neural connections and protects existing ones from age-related damage. Here's what shocked the scientists most. When all three practices were combined, they created a synergistic effect that was greater than the sum of its parts. Brain scans showed 30% more deep sleep, 25% better memory consolidation, and 40% more efficient toxin clearance. Dr. Hinohara had unknowingly created the perfect recipe for cognitive longevity. But the question remained, could anyone learn to do this?
The answer is yes, but only if you follow the exact sequence that Dr. Hinohara discovered through decades of experimentation. This isn't about following rigid rules. It's about creating the perfect conditions for your brain's natural restoration processes to unfold. Here's the secret timing that changes everything. 60 minutes before bed, the twilight transition. This is when you begin signaling to your brain that the day is ending. Dim your lights by 50%. Not because someone told you to, but because this triggers your brain to start producing melatonin. Put away devices, not from discipline, but from understanding that blue light can sabotage 2 hours of brain cleaning processes. 40 minutes before bed, enter the memory cinema. 15 to 20 minutes. Sit comfortably and become the observer of your own day. Start from the moment you woke up and gently move through each experience like watching scenes in a movie. When your mind tries to problem solve or plan, simply return to observation. You're not trying to accomplish anything, you're creating the neurochemical conditions for your brain to do its deepest work later. 25 minutes before bed, the ancient movement. 10 to 15 minutes. This isn't exercise. It's a gentle awakening of your body's cleaning systems. Stretch areas that feel tight, move in ways that feel good, walk slowly if that calls to you. You're not trying to tire yourself. You're preparing your lymphatic system to work with your brain's cleaning crew overnight. 10 minutes before bed. The gratitude hunt. 5 to 10 minutes. Search your day for 3 moments that sparked any positive feeling. Curiosity, joy, appreciation, wonder. They can be tiny. The taste of your morning coffee, a stranger's smile, an interesting thought. You're not being positive, you're literally programming your brain for resilience. The magic happens when these practices flow together naturally, creating the perfect conditions for cognitive transformation.
But here's what most people don't realize. There are hidden traps that can turn Dr. Hinohara's powerful practices into stress-inducing failures. These mistakes are so common that 90% of people sabotage their own brain health without ever knowing it. The perfectionist trap. The deadliest mistake is trying to perform these practices perfectly. The moment you start judging your performance or forcing yourself to do it right, you trigger stress hormones that block the very processes you're trying to activate. Dr. Hinohara understood something profound. The brain's cleaning system only works when you're in a state of relaxed awareness, not anxious performance. The timing obsession. People become slaves to the clock, starting their routine at different times each night and wondering why it doesn't work. Your brain craves consistency because it needs to prepare its cleaning systems in advance. Irregular timing is like showing up to a restaurant after the kitchen is closed. The machinery simply isn't ready. The force field effect. Perhaps the most dangerous mistake is forcing relaxation. When stretching becomes aggressive, when gratitude becomes a chore, when reflection becomes analysis, you've activated your sympathetic nervous system and shut down the parasympathetic processes that do the real healing work.
The instant gratification illusion. Many people expect to feel dramatically different after a few nights and quit when the changes seem subtle. But brain scans reveal the truth. The most profound neurological changes happen gradually over 3 to 4 weeks as neural pathways rewire and cleaning systems optimize.
Dr. Hinohara practiced these techniques for over 80 years because he understood something most people miss. True cognitive protection isn't built in days or weeks, but in the patient accumulation of thousands of nights of optimal brain restoration. The people who succeed are those who approach this practice with curiosity rather than urgency, consistency rather than perfection.
What happened to people who followed Dr. Hinohara's practices for months and years reads like science fiction, but it's documented in peer-reviewed research from institutions around the world. The memory miracle. After just 18 months, people practicing Dr. Hinohara's routine showed 25% better performance on memory tests compared to their peers. But here's what's truly incredible. Brain scans revealed their hippocampus and prefrontal cortex had strengthened connections that typically weaken with age. They weren't just remembering better, their brains were literally rewiring themselves for enhanced memory formation. The cognitive time machine. Longitudinal studies revealed something that shocked researchers. People maintaining consistent pre-sleep routines showed cognitive flexibility equivalent to people 5 to 7 years younger. Their brains had become more adaptable, more creative, more resilient to stress. It was as if the nightly restoration was turning back their cognitive clock. The Alzheimer's Shield. Perhaps most remarkable of all, the Japan Public Health Center's 15-year study of over 41,000 adults revealed that people with high-quality sleep preparation routines had a 35% lower risk of developing dementia. The nightly brain cleaning was literally washing away the toxic proteins that destroy memory and thinking. The structural transformation. Brain imaging studies showed the most incredible result. People following these practices for over a year had increased gray matter volume in regions associated with learning, memory, and emotional regulation. Their brain structure resembled people significantly younger, suggesting the routine was slowing or even reversing age-related brain shrinkage. The stress resilience revolution. After 6 months, practitioners reported 31% better stress management and 24% improved emotional stability. The gratitude and reflection practices had strengthened brain regions responsible for emotional regulation, creating a positive spiral of mental health that extended far beyond sleep quality. But the most remarkable result was cumulative. Each night of optimal brain restoration compounded the benefits, creating cognitive protection that could last decades.
As we reach the end of Dr. Hinohara's story, you're standing at a crossroads that will determine the fate of your mind for decades to come. You now know the secret that took scientists millions of dollars and years of research to discover. The same secret that kept a 105-year-old man mentally sharp until his final day. The choice before you is simple but profound. Will you continue leaving your brain's health to chance, or will you take control of your cognitive destiny starting tonight? Here's what's truly remarkable. Dr. Hinohara's secret doesn't require expensive equipment, complicated schedules, or medical supervision. It only requires one thing: the decision to begin. Tonight, in just 60 minutes before you sleep, you can start the same practice that protected one man's mind for over a century. Think about this. Every night you don't activate your brain's cleaning system is a night of accumulated toxins, missed memory consolidation, and lost opportunities for cognitive protection. But every night you do follow Dr. Hinohara's protocol is an investment in your future self, the person you'll be at 70, 80, 90, and beyond. The research is conclusive. The practices are simple. The potential benefits are extraordinary. The only question remaining is, what will you choose? Your brain is waiting for you to unlock its most powerful restoration processes. Your future self is counting on the decision you make right now. Dr. Hinohara showed us that cognitive vitality isn't determined by genetics or luck. It's created by what we do in those precious minutes before sleep. The secret is no longer hidden. The path is clear. Your transformation begins the moment you close your eyes tonight. If this video revealed something that could change your life, kindly type yes in the comments. That motivates us to uncover more life-changing secrets like this. Please like this video, share it with someone whose brain health matters to you, and subscribe for more breakthrough discoveries. Thank you for investing in your cognitive future.